Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good any time of the day or night, wherever you are. Peace and blessings. And thank you for giving me just a little bit of your time tonight. So I want to jump right in with continuing the breaking process of the African woman. It is so key to most of the problems that we have and issues that we have in the African community even today. You really need to get a good grasp of this so you can understand what occurred so we can fix it and be healthy spiritually, mentally, and physically. All right, I'll be back on the other side. The breaking process of the African woman, part 2. Understanding is the best thing. Therefore, we shall go deeper into this area of the subject matter concerning what we have produced here in the breaking process of the female N-word. We have reversed relationships. In her natural uncivilized state, she would have strong dependency on the uncivilized N-word male, and she would have a limited protective tendency toward her independent male offspring and would raise the female offspring to be dependent like her. Nature had provided time with this balance. We reversed nature by burning and pulling one civilized N-word apart and bullwhipping the other to the point of death, all in her presence. By her being left alone, unprotected, with the male image destroyed, the ordeal caused her to move from her psychological dependent state to an independent state. In this psychological state of independence, she will raise her male and female offspring in reverse roles. For fear of the young man's life, she will psychologically train him to be mentally weak and dependent, but physically strong. Because she has become psychologically independent, she will train her female offspring to be psychologically independent. All right, so I am back. And if you just finished watching the video just previous to what I'm saying right now, I would encourage you to watch it 2 or 3 times so that you can really get the understanding of what they're saying there. This is from the Willie Lynch letter and the making of a slave. These are the thoughts of the OPEC people when they did it, knew exactly what they were doing. But they took the African woman, the African mother, sister, aunt, the African woman, and they broke her. They broke her by her seeing her husband or her brother or uncle or whoever that male was to them, maybe even her father, just torn apart by these 2 horses, set on fire, tarred and feathered, and torn apart. And then the other man beaten to just within an inch of his life, just really beat him to death. Now, these women, again, had to nurse that one who survived, who had been beaten so badly, back to health. The reason that they used the woman, the African woman, is because they knew the relationship that they came from and the way their society and culture was set up before they came to the United States, or I'm sorry, not the United States at the time, it was America, to America. And there was a culture set up where the male and the female and the children, all that was set up in a way where it flowed so smoothly. There was respect from the African male to the African woman, especially his wife, the mother of his children. And he would have fought fiercely to save them. This is why they broke down and completely emasculated the male in front of not only the other males, not only his wife and children, or their wives, which was two of them, and children, but the entire African community that was at that place at that time. And they didn't do it just that one time. This was not, you know, a situation where they said, okay, well, we're going to do this once. Horrible enough that it was any time at all. But this was done repeatedly until it was instilled in the minds of those who were looking on, those Africans who were looking on, that just the depravity of these people, that they would do anything, that they were out to destroy them. And of course, the survival mechanism kicked in. They did what they had to do to survive, because in their minds, if they were all killed, yeah, it was all over. Unless they went back and got more slaves, which more Africans for slaves, which they did. But they had to be alive to figure a way out of this. But no mistake, these African men, that's why they killed them. They knew that that was what they had to conquer, what they had to destroy, what they had to disable in order to ever have control over the Africans. And they did that through the African woman, because above all, that was who the African man would lay down his life for. And that's what we have to understand about this whole thing. It was, I can't tell you in the number of months or years of planning that went into this, but when I say this was an evil, wicked, inhuman, demonic thing that these Opaques did. They did it knowingly. It was not by mistake. In their heads, they weren't thinking, oh, well, we didn't know that it was going to do this much damage. No, they knew exactly what they were doing. And they intended to do it, to have what they needed to get the wealth, the money, the love of money. The love of money is the root of all evil, and these people wanted money. They wanted to be dominant. They wanted to be authoritarians. They wanted to be in charge, and at any cost, by any means necessary. And if it costed African lives, and if it costed breaking down the Africans spiritually and physically and mentally, and just taking every inch of hope away from them, that's what they would do. Okay. I just want to impress upon everybody, this was not by mistake. These were not little happy Opaque people who just decided, oh, well, you know, we're just going to use them for a little while. No. They intended for this to last forever. Okay, running out of time again, as I normally do. But listen, I am going to come back and revisit this several times because I just wanted it to be very apparent what these people intended to do. All right. Thank you again for joining me. Peace and blessings. And above all, y'all, if you're not awake, wake up. And if you're awake, stay woke. Stay woke. Not time to sleep. Love you. See you next time.